Hey guys, it's Clovis, and today we're going to learn how to defeat Taya in 3 turns. Now, Taya is usually regarded as the easiest duel, perhaps as she's the first one, but really, Tristan's a lot easier than her. But apart from that, she is quite easy, and generally, a lot of her simplicity comes from her playing some rather low attack fairies. Now, because she has 3 silver bow and arrows, it is actually quite possible for her to play something absurdly strong, but for the most part, all of her cards have rather low base attack, with the exception of cards that she can't play in her first turn. If we think about all of her cards, apart from the ones that cost 5 or 6 SP to summon, most of these cards are basically 1200 attack or lower. So if Taya actually opens with a 4-star card and then continues just playing monsters that cost a decent amount of summoning power, either 2 or 3, you won't see any of her cards that are above 1200 attack. And if she doesn't equip any of them, well, ultimately, the likeliness of her playing a high attack card is very, very, very low. Now, this is important as Taya is one of the few people that see our face down cards as if they have 0 attack. So even if she has a really weak card, something like a Dancing Elf that has 300 attack, or like a Key Mace, she will attack our face down cards. And another interesting thing about this property is, she isn't threatened by our face down cards because she thinks that she can retaliate and attack them. So what she'll do is stand her ground, kind of like Madame Febla Chakra, except she's not a boss, and then she will play a monster to attack your face down after she's kept her deck leader stationary, and then when she passes, because she can't move her deck leader anymore because she already roofed it, she's just standing right there in front of your monster and you can attack her directly. Now, ultimately, if you can't defeat Taya in 3 turns, there is the 4-turn strategy, which involves basically any high attack card or pair of high attack cards. This is what you do if you don't have Dimensionhole. If you don't have a Dimensionhole, when you move forward, your best move is to actually not play any card at all. If you do, don't move it forward, because what happens if you don't have a card in the middle is that the position of her cards will actually line up so that when you have a monster in front of her deck leader, she will attack it, and then you can attack the following turn after she attacks into your card and it's destroyed, and you're then also in a position to follow up with a direct attack with another card in your hand. So ultimately, without Dimensionhole, the strategy we're going to go for is to move forward, pass, and then move forward again, and now we play the highest attack possible card in our hand, and then we just continue charging towards her deck leader. Now leave this card face down, and you'll notice that she does attack into it, which hopefully it's weaker than your card, and after she passes, you have that high attack card in front of her deck leader, so you can attack her directly, and then you follow up by playing a monster on top of that monster from your deck leader out of the hand and then attack her again, and that should be lethal. Now, there are multiple ways to achieve this 4-turn if you don't have Dimensionhole. Another one is actually simply just playing Yami and then attacking her twice with a card that's strong on Yami. I mean, you can do this with any terrain, but of course we're talking about the Patrician of Darkness starter deck. Now, there are 2 things that can actually kind of ruin your duel. If you're not going for any crazy competitive time, you can just attack through these. One of them is Soul the Pure, which she doesn't activate unless you've dealt at least 2,000 damage to her life points. So if she's on 2,000 life points, she'll go ahead and activate it. So this is also a scenario why it's better to sometimes just not attack. However, something else is Tenderness, which if her life points are lower than yours, she will flip it up in defense mode. And so this is why, you know, you don't open with activating a Kazi or something like that. Because actually what you'd rather do is her not be triggered to flip this face up defense mode, because then it's possible that she actually attacks into your monster with Tenderness, and it's satisfying because then you don't need to worry about Tenderness. Something to be said is if you are playing Yami strategy and you manage to attack or bring out a Great Mammoth the Goldfine, you can attack her on the Yami twice with that, and it will go through her flipping up Tenderness for the second attack, as you'll deal 2700 and then 1350. So that's something to keep in mind. As I mentioned, at this point in the duel, your deck leader should be positioned to play another monster on top of that card and attack her directly. And if you do as much damage possible in this one hand, you can avoid problems such as, again, Tenderness, Soul the Pure. Really, it's ridiculous how she has, like, these cards. So yeah, keep that in mind that with the Dimensionhole, you can do the 3-turn. Best card you want is a Skullbird, otherwise you probably just want to make the highest attack possible. If you don't have a Dimensionhole, however, it does get a bit more complex. It is possible for her to play, for example, a 2-star monster to open with, and then that means she can open with a 5-star monster, which means she can play an Airknight Parchef. And if she draws into any equips with it, suddenly it's 2400 attack. And really, apart from this first monster she plays, you don't really have to be worried about the second and third monsters that she potentially plays. Again, one of these being Tenderness or one of these attacking over your cards can be a huge problem. Something you can do to try to avoid her ruining your run entirely from the get-go is by making sure you have the highest attack dark monster possible on the field, as any of her light monsters will get spellbound. So, with the exception of a powered up Dome of the Angel of Silence, for example, anything that would destroy a Pumpkin would get spellbound. And that's pretty much the end of this video, so maybe it's a little bit shorter than some of the other ones, but I hope you guys enjoyed it either way. Hopefully we have some more interesting ones coming up, because Taya isn't the most interesting duel in terms of a speedrun. You really just beeline it straight to her. So anyways, join us for the next one, which I believe will be Tristan, which again, not really that interesting, but hey, it's Tristan, so it'll be funny to talk about the Crab Walker strategy. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Enjoy. And also, don't forget, obligatory mention to check me out on Twitch if you want to see some speedrunning content. Thank you guys, and bye-bye.